What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I do want to talk about Big Jordan Davis, but if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for your continued support. If you would like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you would like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can also hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, I do want to talk about defensive tackle Big Jordan Davis. And did the Atlanta Falcons make a mistake in not taking Big Jordan Davis in the first round of the 2022 NFL draft? Personally, in my opinion, I do believe the Falcons made a mistake in not drafting Big Jordan Davis to be a part of this Atlanta Falcons defense. And this is not a shot at Drake London, the wide receiver that we took out of USC. You guys know that he was my favorite wide receiver prospect in this draft. And I believe that Drake London may be a generational talent in his own right. But personally, I think that the Falcons had a bigger need at that defensive tackle position. And we've seen a little bit of it in this first preseason game. I know it's still early. I'm not pressing the panic button, but I believe that the Falcons should have drafted Jordan Davis. And I say this for a litany of reasons. First off, you guys know here on my channel, I'm big on the trenches, trench warfare. I'm big on talking about the trenches because I believe the game of football is won and lost in the trenches. You have to have a solid offensive line and you have to have a solid defensive line if you want to win Super Bowls and if you want to win in this league. As they say, football is a game of inches, and normally the team that controls the line of scrimmage in most games win those games. So with that being said, I still believe in this Atlanta Falcons team and this defense, even though we didn't draft Jordan Davis. But I believe we possibly made a mistake because, and I say this because you have to be able to stop the run. You have to be able to get off the field on third downs and things of that nature. And I believe if we would have taken a guy like Jordan Davis, who's been dominating with the Philadelphia Eagles in training camp, and he dominated in their first preseason game when he actually played. And I feel like he would have been able to highlight guys like Grady Jarrett. He would have been able to highlight the Lorenzo Carters. He would have been able to highlight the young defensive linemen that we have on this roster, and he would have made this total defense better. I do believe that Drake London does the same thing on the offensive side of the ball. I believe they drafted Drake London to take pressure off of Kyle Pitts, the unicorn. And I believe that Drake London will do just that, as far as he will be able to highlight and help Kyle Pitts as he be that number 2 or his sidekick. And I think that I just feel that Big Jordan Davis would have had a bigger impact on our Atlanta Falcons because we've struggled over the last decade. We've struggled at being a team that could stop the run consistently. And I really feel like that's the reason that our Falcons defenses have been ranked in the bottom when it comes to sacks and pressures on the quarterback and being able to stop the run. The biggest hole on this defense is that defensive tackle position. This isn't any shot at guys like Anthony Rush that's currently on the roster and all of the guys that we have that are playing that nose position for our roster. But I really feel like that defensive tackle position for our Falcons has to be addressed. I do believe that the Falcons at some point during this preseason are going to go out and sign another guy to come in, being that Eddie Goldman retired, to try to come in and help Anthony Rush and help Grady Jarrett on the defensive line. But I really believe that the Falcons are still missing that dominant player. And I feel like if they would have taken Jordan Davis in the draft, there were still guys that would have been available at that wide receiver position. No disrespect, like I said, to Drake London, but wide receivers are dime a dozen. We're seeing guys like George Pickens out of Georgia, who was drafted in the second round by the Pittsburgh Steelers, who's balling out in preseason. We see guys year in and year out that has come into the league and balled out at that wide receiver position. And in this draft, there were numerous wide receivers that were capable, that the Falcons could have taken. I think later on in the draft, even in the second round, they could have addressed that, or even in the third round, we possibly could have addressed that. And also, with the Falcons going out and trading for Edwards, the guy we brought in from the Las Vegas Raiders, he's another guy who can be like a number 2 or number 3 wide receiver. So there were still ways around fixing the offense and fixing that wide receiver spot. We didn't necessarily have to go wide receiver with our first pick. I understand why the Atlanta Falcons did it, but I just think that Jordan Davis would have had a bigger impact on this Atlanta Falcons team as a whole, as possibly on the defense. And being that we're trying to build a new culture and we're trying to change the culture and trying to build that new foundation, I think that Jordan Davis would have been a better pick over Drake London, because I feel like he would have been able to affect the whole defense. He would have been able to breathe life into that defensive line as far as being able to stop the run. He would have been able to take pressure off of guys like Grady Jarrett. He would have been able to take pressure off of some of the younger guys that we currently have on the roster. And to me, hands down, the gap as far as talent wise, we seen what Jordan Davis was able to do at the combine. The numbers that he was able to put up at the combine basically solidify how great of a player, Jordan Davis is. And I just feel like having him on this roster, just seeing what he's able to do and how he's been flashing for the Eagles already, I really think that we would have seen a huge difference even in that first preseason game with a guy like Jordan Davis and his presence of being able to stop the run, his presence of being able to penetrate in the backfield. And I feel like that's something that's been missed for the Atlanta Falcons team over the years, and especially because now we play a 3-4 defense. Anybody that understands and knows the 3-4 defense, you have to have that big guy up front. If you go look at the New England Patriots over the years, they're a team that's notorious for running that 3-4, and they've had guys like Vince Wilfork. They've had guys that could, plug up the middle and that can get pressure on the backfield and allow their outside linebackers to roam free and play on the edge one-on-one. If you look at teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers, they had the Casey Hamptons of the world and those big guys up front in the middle that allow their young edge rushers, on the outside. Back in the day, they had guys like Joey Porter coming off the edge. Now they have guys like not JJ Watt, but TJ Watt coming off the edge, who was able to get 22 sacks last season due to them having those big guys like Cam Hayward up front. So, and the Stephon Tuitt's and the guys like that's big up front. So I really feel like the Falcons, we did a solid job, I believe, in the draft, but I really feel like Jordan Davis would have been the better pick. If I were the GM of the Falcons, I think they should have went with big Jordan Davis. Like I said, I'm not waving the white flag. I still think that this Falcons team, can be solid on defense. But I feel like if you're trying to change a culture, you have to set a precedence. And I feel like drafting Jordan Davis with that first pick would have kind of shown everybody that the defense is paramount, that we're trying to fix the defense, and that we're trying to bring in a player that we know can come in day one and be a life changer. Like I said, there's no disrespect to Anthony Rush, no disrespect to these other guys. And hopefully, if they do see this video, hopefully these guys take this personal, and hopefully these guys, shut me up and, prove me wrong. But at the end of the day, I think that big Jordan Davis would have been an asset for our Falcons to have on this roster. And I think he would have definitely been a guy, like I said, that would have helped highlight some of the things that we have already on the roster, like a Grady Jarrett, who we just re-signed. I really feel like it would have made a lot of sense, being that you were able to re-sign Grady Jarrett, to bring him in some help. Because just looking at that first drive of this last game, from what I saw, I didn't really see anybody flashing. I didn't see Grady Jarrett really having the ample help that he needed in the middle. Anthony Rush did a solid job of holding the point, but sometimes you need that big guy that's going to dominate up front. And I think that that's the difference between an Anthony Rush and a guy like a Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis not only is going to hold the point, but Jordan Davis is going to rush the passer. Jordan Davis is going to be able to collapse the pocket, and Jordan Davis is also going to be able to get a lot of TFLs, which are tackles for loss. But with that being said, you guys let me know what you think of the video. But with that being said, I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for always continuing to tune in, continuing to support your boy here at Jew Talk Sports, and continuing to support not just my channel, but the heavy hitters, Mad Mike, K Styles. Y'all recently just got him to 1,000. So definitely go over to their channels as well. Of course, they'll have a lot more coming for you guys as well. But with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on what do you think about Jordan Davis? Did we make the right decision on going with Drake London? Like I said, I love Drake London. I believe he also is possibly a generational talent. But if you're going to change culture, we have to start placing value on that defensive tackle position. With that being said, this has been your boy Jew. I'll holler at you guys in the next video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. Peace.